Do you have that itch to buy a new watch, but don't have any ideas on what to get or how to even search? I'll show you 4 ways that I look for new watch ideas to find a watch that will stimulate my interest on this episode of Adventures with Time. Are you like me, always wanting a new watch, balancing the desire to add to your collection with the realization that you need to keep your collection in a manageable and useful size? I guess that's what it's like to be a collector of wearable watches. It's different with other hobbies like coin collecting, where you're limited primarily by money and space. However, with watches that you wear, having too large of a collection means you might be neglecting a part of that collection. I made a video recently about being a more selective collector. I'll leave a link to that episode at the end of this video and in the description below. But what I want to discuss here is how to search for new watches that you may want to add to your collection. After all, the hunt is a big part of the hobby. Actually, I consider it a double hunt. First, to hunt for what watch you want to get. And second, to find that specific watch to buy. Let me give you an example. Recently, I decided I want to buy a vintage watch. Now, that's a huge genre. I was able to narrow it down to a World War II military watch that might have been worn by my father, who served in World War II. I'll leave a link to that episode also at the end of this video and in the description below. That was the first hunt. Now comes the second hunt, which is to find the actual watch I want to purchase. But how does one go about that first hunt to determine what type, brand, style of watch you want to get among the myriad of watches available? I'll go through the 4 activities I use to get new ideas for watches. Let me know if there are other activities you use. First is attending watch shows. I've attended several of these, including the yearly wind-up shows in New York City. This is attended mostly by microbrands, but not exclusively. I've also attended events hosted by ADs and actual brands. There was the Watch Buy show, where they brought many of the watch models that they represent from several brands. And there was the Bremont Townhouse event in New York City, a very nice event where food and drinks were served and the opportunity to try on a watch or two. I like attending these shows because you get to see and try on a lot of different watches, which you otherwise wouldn't get to handle. You also get to talk directly to the creators or designers of these watches to pick their brains. Unfortunately, this has been a bit limited these days with COVID, but that can't last forever, can it? Nevertheless, there are events that are being virtually hosted. Not as valuable, but still opportunities to learn about new watches to consider. Similar to attending watch shows, I like to visit ADs and boutiques. Living close to New York City, I can drive in and spend the day seeing the sights and trying on a wide variety of watches. In New York City, a lot of brand boutiques are located midtown, within a few blocks of each other. But even within a few minutes' drive from my house, there are ADs who offer the opportunity to see a nice selection of watches. But here again, COVID has put up a roadblock on these activities. So, like many of our other usual pursuits, we have to go virtual. When I can't go to an AD or a brand boutique, I go online to survey the brand's collection. In fact, this can be a more complete learning experience for me. Although I don't get to actually try on the watches, I can review the complete set of watches the brand offers. If you've been a viewer of my channel, you know that I've created several brand survey videos already by going through all the watch collections these brands display on their website. And because I'm making a video for my channel, I ensure that I'm doing a complete and accurate review. This has the side benefit of fully educating me and embedding in my memory a lot about the watches I discuss. Now, these 3 activities provide good avenues to learn and experience many watches, but only current production watches, and mostly from major brands. But what about the growing number of micro brands and the odd watch type or genre or vintage watches? As I've said in other videos, I do enjoy experiencing lots of different watches and consider part of my collection as watches that I like to flip to make room for new affordable watches. So my practice is to watch YouTube videos, searching watches on eBay, and generally scanning the internet. Take my advice. You don't have to search for anything specific. You can start with a general topic, like military watches, or something less specific, like vintage watches. Spend some time following different paths through the variety of information and links. You never know what new areas of watches you'll discover. It's fun and educational, and it gets you out of your routine of looking at a standard set of watches or watch brands. Again, let me know what activities you use to search out new watch opportunities. And as promised, here is the video I made about being pickier in my collection purchases and my video searching for a vintage military watch. I hope you'll enjoy them. Thanks for watching and supporting my channel. I'll see you in my next video.